Jai Hind everybody. Today we would be discussing about the entrepreneurial motivational theories. In this we would be discussing about different motivational theories which are required for an entrepreneur so that it can successfully implement those particular things into the enterprise and get the desired results. So coming to the point, what does these motivational theories means? To understand these motivational theories, first of all we should understand what do we mean by motivation. So motivation has been derived from the word motive. The motive means it is the state of our mind that activates or directs our mind to reach our goals. When we are doing a continuous process of hard work, dedication, then we are motivated in that particular case. So when we have a motive to achieve a goal, to achieve a specific goal, we have to continuously perform some action which are in terms of your hard work, your dedication. So motivation is defined as the process in which the person to get an action induced him on a continued course of actions, and so that we can achieve the desired goals. So desired goal of an entrepreneur is basically to have economical independence, so that that particular product can be helpful, the product or the goods can be helpful in the market. So Dalton McFarland has defined this motivation as you have an urge, drive, desire, strive, or aspiration to fulfill some needs. So if you have some aspiration, you have some strive to fulfill your goals, your desires, then that is called as motivation. Then the process of motivation. The basic components of a motivation are three: that you should have a motive to fulfill so that you can achieve the desired goal. To achieve those desired goals, you should follow some specific behavior, or in an example we can tell you have to be diligent, you have to be a continuous hard worker, you have to be an innovator, you have to be a risk taker. So there are some of the things which behavior you have to follow to achieve this. So here, if I have some specific goals in my mind, to achieve that particular goal we have to stay motivated, we have to be enthusiastic. So we have to be enthusiastic, we have to be innovator, that is we are doing innovation is required, that is we are doing new things so that we can remain motivated. To remain motivated, you should have some specific kind of behavior. See this arrow. So behavior should be, you should be optimistic, okay, you should be opportunistic. When you are optimistic, then you have a positive attitude in your mind and you start doing that particular work. When you are having a positive attitude, then you achieve this particular goal. So the basic three things in a particular motivational process of motivation are the motive, what is the aim, then what goals, at the end of the process what we want to achieve, and how we can achieve is done by this particular behavior. So these are the three basic components which we require for doing it. Okay, so what can be the motivational factors for an entrepreneur? So there are three basic motivational factors. First is the entrepreneurial ambition. Obviously, what are the basic ambitions for an entrepreneur? So first ambition is to earn money, to become financially independent, to earn money, that is you want financially independency. So you want to become financially independent, or you want to have in self-employment. You are doing this particular entrepreneurship because you want that you should fulfill your desires. If you have to fulfill your ambitions. So you have to fulfill your desires of the self, what you want to do in the life. So you have to fulfill those, and you want some social prestige so that everybody should know. Now coming to this point, this is when you have in previous family business, your father and your grandfathers are in this particular business and you are taking over to their business, but with a new idea or with a new innovation. Okay, then this is an entrepreneurial ambition. You want to expand their family business, maybe in terms of new line segment, maybe in terms of new venture. So these are some of the entrepreneurial ambitions. Then comes the compelling reasons. Obviously, some of the reasons, if you don't have this particular entrepreneur reasons, then you have some compelling reasons. For these compelling reasons, first is you are unemployed, you don't have any employment, and you have desire to do something. So one is you are unemployed, or the work which you are doing it, you are dissatisfied, you are not motivated in that particular work which you are doing it. So that comes as a dissatisfaction with the job. Or you have some surplus funds which you, or the capital, here we can say you have some capital which you want to invest. So investing that particular into some innovative idea is one of the way for because you want to grow your money, you want to grow your economy. So in that particular case, you can have this capital and invest that, and through that this particular innovative ideas. Or you want to use your professional skills which you are not able to use, or I should say you have to exploit your professional skills. That is, those particular professional skills you are not able to use in your current job or in your current service which you are doing it. So you want to excel that, or you want to exploit that, so that it would be beneficial for the society. Then comes facilitating factors. Obviously, there can be some of the reasons. You might have heard about the successful stories of the entrepreneurs, or anyone in your family or a near relative is a successful entrepreneur and he is becoming so financially independent, you want to become like that. So this can be one of the reasons. Then previous association with the job. The association with the job which you are being associated, you are not satisfied, or you are finding some maybe dissatisfaction, or it can be you found the loopholes and you want to overcome those particular loopholes by some innovative ideas. So you want to do something for that, the product which is in the market, but there are some loopholes and you want to overcome those particular loopholes, so you take over the entrepreneurship. Then the property inheritance. You have land which is inherited, or you have a capital, or I should say finance, and you want to use those particular things, so you start an entrepreneurship. Then influence of others. Obviously, this was a part when you have heard the stories of successful entrepreneurs. Similarly, it can be your peer persons, your friends, who have inspired you for taking that particular task as an entrepreneur. So this comes out to be the first is the entrepreneurial ambitions, then compelling reasons, and the third one is the facilitating factors. Now comes what are the different theories for the motivation or taking the entrepreneur. So first theory is Maslow's theory, and in this particular theory you can see the hierarchy. This is the first level, that is the psychological level, physiological level. Second is the safety level. Third one is the love and belongings. Fourth one is the esteem, and the fifth one is the self-actualizations. So these five parts of this pyramid we would be discussing. In the first part is as it denotes that you have a psychological need. Obviously, the psychological needs in the layman term, what we tell is roti, kapda, and makan. Obviously, that you have to fulfill your basic needs, that is the food, the clothing, and the shelter. So here we have clothing, shelter, and the food. Obviously, for a good health you require all those things. So for a particular person to go for the to become motivated and work in that particular enterprise is psychological needs. In this particular needs, we have to fulfill the basic needs. How can we fulfill these particular basic needs? The fulfillment of these particular needs can be done by paying handsome amounts to the employees. So when we are paying a handsome amount or uh, so considerable amount of salary to an employee, then the employee would be satisfied with this particular needs. When it is satisfied with the needs of food, clothing and shelter, and the overall things are in a specific standard, then that employee remains motivated to work in the organization. Then comes the second, that is the safety needs. In this safety needs, as we are getting all the three things, that is the food, clothing and shelter, now I want this particular food, clothing and shelter to be continued for lifelong process, or I should say that you have a pensionable job. When you have a pensionable job, you might have heard everybody saying we would get pension in the old age, we don't have to worry about saving the money, or we should not have a second thought while spending that particular money. Or second is the insurance. If you have taken an insurance, health insurance, then whenever some problem arises or you have a health issue, you don't have to make sure that you have that particular money in your pocket and then you can go for the treatment. You can avail that particular insurance. You have that assurance or the safety that if this problem arises, then it would be fulfilled. So similarly, the safety needs includes that you don't violate some of the things, that is, you have a financial security, you have a health security, obviously the emotional stability also, that if you have some personal problems and if you are going on leave, your entrepreneur will understand what all the problems you are going across and they would help you out in overcoming those particular problems. Health issues we have discussed in terms of insurance. The financial stability, we have understood that if we pay a handsome amount, then they can save, or we can give them pensionable pensions, or we can give them PF and gratuity also. So these are some of the things which help the persons to have a safety needs for the future. If they feel that they are satisfied in that particular organization and they have all these particular things, they would stay motivated and work in that particular organization to the fullest. Then comes obviously the love and the belonging needs. When we are satisfied personally with the food, clothing and the shelter, then we have that in future also if some problem arises, then it would be fulfilled. Then comes the third need, that is the love and belonging need. That is, I should say in short, that is the social need which an employee wants, and they remain motivated for that. So the social needs is you have to interact, you have to make a group of the people in the enterprise who have a similar mental ability. So you have an homogeneous mental ability group at workplace. So when you have a friend or a friend circle, or a colleague becomes a friend, then you become a very easy friend and you start working happily there, or you stay motivated while working there. Similarly, when you have a strong bonding at your home with your relatives, with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, then that results in love and relationship need is fulfilled for that particular employee, and that employee becomes motivated. So then when the homogeneous group, then comes the friendship and the family. Obviously, when you have a biological relationship, I told the parents or the siblings and the children, and the family or the chosen partners can be your partners or your spouses, business partners. That person may not be your friend, may not be your colleague, but a person to whom you can rely. So those partners and the spouses can work as a special social need which is being fulfilled. So you have to have membership in the social group contributes to meeting their needs, from belonging to a team of co-workers to forging an identity in a union, club or a group of hobbies. Or you can become a member of a club also, and where you can go and get relaxed by your stress and you get motivated working there. So this is the second. First is the personal need, then the safety need, that is for the longer time duration. You have that assurance. Then comes the social needs. After fulfilling this social needs comes your esteem need. This esteem needs is basically, that is the ego driven need. As the name suggests, the ego driven, that you feel valuable in that particular organization or the enterprise where you're working. So element is you have a self respect. which can be done by valuable or showing yourself deserving of that dignity which is being given to you, or you are given a promotion in that particular field, you have been given a best employee award, so you have the self confidence there. So if you get a self motivated person becomes, there are two respect, that the esteem is based on the respect, where you can get the best employee award. Okay, so best employee award or the acknowledgement from the others. This can be in terms of your incentives, your promotions, and so on. So you are doing a self-assessment, and being that particular self-assessment, you are being recognized into that particular organization time to time. If you are not recognized in that organization, you don't remain motivated and your self-esteem needs won't be fulfilled. Then comes the self-actualization. That is, this is the need which is not been satisfied 100% for each and every person. That is the fulfillment of your full potential and the person. Obviously, whenever all the four needs of a person, we are coming up in the hierarchy, when all the bottom four needs of the person is being satisfied, then the person remains motivated, uses his 100% potential to do it. But during that particular span, sometimes there are some loopholes also. So we have to see how we can refine the talents in that area. It may be in the area of any of the field. You want to excel in music, you want to excel in athletics or designing or cooking. So you have to learn that particular thing, fulfill those particular potential of a person, and then we are going for this particular self-actualization. So this is the last need or the last thing in the pyramid, and if these particular needs are being fulfilled, you can win awards, you can be recognized at the country level, and so on and so forth. So this was the base for the next theory, that is called as the McClelland achievement motivation theory. This theory is also called as the three-factor theory, or it is also called as the three-need factor theory or learner's theory. There are different names, learner's theory. For this McClelland's theory, this is the very famous theory which was given in 1961 in one of the 1951 in one of its book, which was written by David McClelland. So in this theory, we have that each and every person has all these, as the name suggests, it is a three-factor. That is, we have three factors in each and every human being. Each and every human being has all these three factors, but the proportion of that differs. The more the proportion of specific need, then the person is being recognized as that type of person. So it believes that each person need all the three, and all except these three other needs are also required. But depending on that particular behavior, motivation of these three basic needs, it becomes that type of person. So this was given by McClelland. So these needs are basically need for achievement, that is also called as the NR, need for power, that is N-power, and need of affiliation. One by one, we would be looking into all these three particular needs. So first is this three particular powers, these three particular need are each and every person, as we told, that is a mixture, and we have to see what characteristics that person has more, and we would distinguish, or we would categorize that person into that particular need. We would look into it, and then we will categorize for one of the things. So first is the need of achievement. As the name suggests, the achievement, that is, that person has a need, that it has a strong desire to fulfill some of the challenging works. So obviously the achiever has a strong desire for the responsibilities which is done. They are a medium challenge taker. So they have they do the work with a moderate difficulty, the goals and the texts, all the risks which are being taken by them are task calculated. Obviously they calculate those particular risks. For example, if I take an example, that if a particular person is given a task, okay, the task T1 is given to it, that person has a strong desire to fulfill that task. If he does that particular task, what will be the risk associated if 100 rupees is being the cost for that particular work. If he is not fulfilling that, they do that calculated risk, how much loss that company would be bearing into it. So they look into the calculated risk. Obviously they are moderate difficulty goals. They don't take high risk. They take a moderate risk. They are a moderate risk taker. They have a strong desire for performance feedback after they complete the work which is being allocated to them. Obviously they are taking that particular strong desire for the challenging job. They have a strong desire for this performance feedback also. If they succeed, then they require that they should be this particular performance feedback should be given in terms of rewards. These rewards can be the promotions, they can be incentives, or they can be publicly announcing that they have completed that work, public announcement or public recognition. So these are the three ways how they want their feedback to be done for the work which they have completed it. So these are the three basic things we would add to all these particular things. First is the strong desire to take the challenging work. Obviously they take the work which has a moderate risk. They calculate the risk, and then when they perform that particular task successfully or with failure, they have a strong desire to get the feedback. Strong desire to get the feedback. So here these particular persons are motivated. They have obviously a sense of accomplishment. When they fulfill that particular, they have done something. That accomplishment motivate them to do the new work. Obviously they have a urge to achieve something in life. They have to do something, maybe that is positive or negative, the people should know them. So obviously when they are as an employee, they want something to be creative done. They have innovative ideas. The company should take those particular innovative ideas. They should take that particular challenging job, and they would surely fulfill that particular job. So they have to encourage a person to do work, struggle, and find the successful solution eventually for that. Obviously they would definitely find a solution if that particular challenging work is being given to them. Then comes, they are obviously known as a prominent person in the field. Obviously you might have seen that when it comes to anchoring, we know that some persons are very good at anchoring. So they want to become a motivating person, or they want to become a prominent person, a leader in that particular field, so that everybody should know that, oh, he's that person. So the need for achievement persons are usually the prominent persons in that particular field in which they are doing it. They are constantly motivating and excelling at everything. If they have accomplished one thing, they would start doing another things. They don't sit idle and waste their time. They are opportunistic. They take that particular risky situations, and they try to fulfill that particular task at any cost. Maybe they can give the cost of their sleep, they can give the cost of their health, because that is challenging. They want that they have to perform that successfully and keep them motivated. The risk is being calculated by them, and so they want that particular situation to be handled. So these are, obviously I told you, they take a medium risk situation. They don't prefer high risk. They don't take the high risk efforts, and obviously there is they improvise and improve on the task if they have been failed in a particular action. If they fail, then they look into that what all factors were which resulted in failure, and then they try to overcome those particular factors, and again try to improve and excel in that particular thing. So they know how near or far they are from their goals. They have some specific mindset, they have their goals. So in short, we can say first of all, they have a strong desire to fulfill the things. They take the challenging work. They want to be the prominent person in that particular field in which they are doing it. They take a calculated risk. Obviously they take a medium risk, and if there is something to be improved, they start doing that particular improvement, and then go ahead with that particular, that is, they prune their tools if pruning is required. And in the last, I should say that they obviously need a performance feedback. If you are not giving them the performance feedback, they don't remain motivated in that particular Then comes the need for power. In the need of power, I should say that is the person they want that you should guide them, or they should guide and you should follow their particular decisions. So they want the authority to be with them, like the Hitler gave the dictatorship. Each and every decision at that particular point of time was dictated by Hitler, and his Praja has to follow that particular thing. So in doing that particular thing, he has that particular power. Similarly, the need for power person are derived from that particular power. They want to influence others. They want to exercise control over there. They want that whatever things they are telling, they should accept without ifs and buts. You have to maintain a leader-follower relationship. All the things is, it has influence in the direct somebody. You are influencing, and obviously you are directing somebody. They should do what you want them to do it. You exercise in control over others. And similarly, you have to maintain a leader followership. This can be in a normal language, we can say, if you start following some guru, then whenever you have some problem, you go to them and they give you the solution, and you tell that I have been answered this question by guru and I would be following in the same manner. I won't do any ifs and buts. So this is one of the example. So and the Hitler was the second example. In that point, he was compelling the users to do it. These particular persons who has this need for power are usually the persons like in the army, in police, or IS officers, or they can be the politicians, because they want the public they should have a control on the public, and the public should follow them. So they are authority motivated. They want that authority, and they have a strong need to lead and for their ideas to be prevailed. They don't expect that anybody should deny the idea or deny the solution which they are telling it. So they are strongly authority motivated. These are some of the things which are written in the bold defines that particular need. Then they are also motivated and need towards the increasing personal status in the prestige. When somebody denies this, and then their personal status and their prestige is being lawful. So they want that they should not get hurt by that particular thing. So they have a control on the public, and the public is listening to them and exercising what all solutions they are giving it. So these type of persons are basically, as I told, they are desperate to carve the absolute authority over the other people. They want their mind should be in the control. The persons who are following them, their mind should be in their control. They should not think beyond what the leading person is telling you. So obviously you have to they are high risk taker persons. They want high glory. There are two types of person, the personal persons or the institutional. The personal person, as I told you, you can have some guru or some friend who is always giving you some solutions, and you always go ahead for taking a solution from that. Or institutional, you usually have a group of people. If you have getting some professional problems, they discuss those particular professional problems and give you the solution, depending on what type of organization it is, what type of institution it is. So in short, we can say you have a counseling departments in each and every organization, which tells you if some particular problem arises. In that scenario, with those particular rules and regulation, we have to follow these particular rules. Then comes obviously a part of the personal power motivator group, and as we have discussed, it has a control over other persons. And then competitions and challenges are there, which motivates them to do better. They always want to be the winner. That is, they want always that I should be winner. Nobody else should argue and what all things they have told. So they don't encourage arguments of the people. They only want that they should follow them. And they direct others. So we have discussed all these particular points for the empower. Then comes need for affiliation. Need for affiliation is when affiliation means you are motivated, you have a friendly relationship, or you are a team player. or I should say you have a driver provides motivation. So this is the person who wants to work in a team. They are very much friendly with each and every new person which is joining in that particular team, or they become friends when they are going to a new place. They easily adjust to that particular environment. I can tell you the example for this is when we add water to the milk, we cannot segregate that water in the milk. So these particular persons who has need for affiliation are a good team player. They get mixed into that thing so evenly that we cannot see that if that person was a new to the organization or some new person has been added to that particular, they make so at ease to the new joining person also, so that they become they have a friendly relationship. So depending on these particular things, we have to identify what a particular point of time a person is. Why we are studying this particular motivational theory as an entrepreneur or as an entrepreneurship motivation? Because when we are recruiting people, when we are having that particular peoples in our enterprise or an organization, we should calculate what type of need that person is having, and depending on that particular type of need, we should allocate that person in that positions only. Like if I tell you that we have I told you have need of achievement. If you have some challenging job that is being calculated, so challenging job should be given to the person who has need of achievement, or you know what can be the reason for the failure, you should give that particular person. They would devote everything into that and give you the best output result. When you want that a person should a particular work has to be done by only a dictatorship, nobody, if no ifs and buts are allowed, you have to follow that particular thing whatever the situation arises. Then we identify the person in our organization or enterprise which has need for power, and for that particular need of power, we give the powership or we give the leadership to that person, and he would tell the colleagues to follow him with all those rules and regulations which are there. So the rules and regulations are being predefined and you have to follow those particular rules and regulations. Then comes the need for affiliation. When we find that if particular person is a very friendly nature, so we can add that particular person to the team. If we assume that if we add a person with a need of achievement in a group which is being so friendly, then that person would become the leader and start dictating them, or would become that prominent member. So we have to look into the type of the person, whatever the needs. If a particular person has 40% of this and 20% of this and 20% of affiliation, then in that particular case, the person has more need for power, and we should give that particular person a leadership work, or that person should become take a position in police, IS officer, in army, or in politics. So we have to identify the need. So for nowadays, we are doing a counseling session for the students starting from 10th grade or the 9th grade, what they want to do, what is their urge to do, so that we can identify their need, what they want to do in their life, and then according to that we can tell them what line should they take. So these are some of the need factors which we require for motivating the persons in our enterprise. So coming to the end, in this particular lecture, what we have studied, what do we mean by motivation? Or the motivation words come the word motive, that is we have to specify some particular goals, and to achieve those particular goals, we should have a continuous process of hard work, a continuous process of dedication. Then what was the process? You should have some motive. For that motive, obviously you have some desires of the goals, and to achieve those particular desires, you should follow some specific behavior. Then we studied two different types of motivational theories. One was Maslow's theory. In this, the pyramid had five particular needs. One is psychological needs. In that, roti, kapda, and makan. Then comes the safety needs, where you have to have a continuous safety, insurance, financial stability in that particular case. Then third one is love and relationship, that is the social need is being fulfilled. Then the esteem, that is ego is being satisfied. Then the self-actualization, that is you are satisfied that particular, you remain motivated, you are using your 100% potential. That becomes the base for this McClelland theory, and there we studied three factor theory. One was the need of achievement, where That person is usually taking the challenging jobs, moderate risk taker, and would need a prominent feedback. Then comes the need of power. That person only wants to control and exercise and don't want that anybody should do ifs and buts. That is, leader follower relationship is required. And in the last, the need of affiliation. Obviously, that person becomes a team player. So coming to the end of this particular session, this was the basics for the motivational theories which are required for the entrepreneur to follow. Thank you.